All right, I'd like to take some time to talk about the Holy Spirit. Something that gives folks the heebie-jeebies for a reason. I'll kick it off with what I've always said about the Trinity. How do you get three from one? How are 1 and 3 the same? Because in order for 1 to maintain value, 0 has to be there as well. Something to compare it to. Without 0, 1 has no meaning at all. That's 2 digits, y'all. It's 1, 2, and 2 of them, 3. 0, 1, and 2 were the first 3 digits that came about from 1's existence. That's why the Trinity is existent. Because 1 is 3, immediately. On that note, there's a lot of talk about people who live their lives with no internal monologue. They have no ego. That's what that means. It says, better to be a slave in heaven than the coolest kid in hell. Let me repeat, it's better to be a slave in heaven than the coolest kid in hell. Now, how does that make sense? Because to know everything is the most natural feeling in the world. The most natural feeling in the world, the biggest secrets, is to know everything, because you lose the illusion of free will with it. This is a collective, the feminine perspective. It is more spatial than linear time-based. You don't know what I mean because you don't know what I've seen, but you've seen it too. That's the thing. Anytime somebody's gone down that road of drug use, more than likely they made, in the very beginning, a conscious agreement with themselves to forget what was taking place in their own minds while they were high at first, and experience what it's like to be a child. Through the eyes of a child, you see life without words, without language, without words that you can spell to cast spells. There's no door for ego to enter the mind of a child. That's the difference. Okay? So the beginning of drug use will often resemble that. Through the eyes of a child. The biggest secret, the thing you never thought you'd let yourself forget at one point. But it's the beginning of memory being built. It's the absence of a memory in order to build off of, yet the conscious experience still being there to maintain consciousness. See, this is the Holy Spirit. It is those people who know what it's like to be slaves in heaven and the hellish nature of its existence. See, heaven, it's as if heaven was hell and vice versa, said Pastor Troy. Okay? I know that a lot of people are going to just hear this and think I'm crazy. That's okay. A lot of people thought that Jesus was crazy. They hung him up in a freaking tree because of it. That's another story. I'm not him. I'm me. I'm Scott Michael Ford. And I know a lot. Might not look like I'm worth much, but it took a lot to get here. 39 years and counting of experience, the value of which cannot be measured, and only through the right eyes can be accepted. But I promise you, there's more to this world than what high horse riders think. It's time to get off that high horse and learn again for some people. But yes, that is the Holy Spirit. That is the Spirit, the one consciousness collective of those who've accepted heaven on earth and the hellish nature that they go through whenever it's projected in a way that they don't wish to go through the flow with, because it's not up to them. It's a decision that is beyond a single unit's capacity. It's the captain of the ship that rides the Holy Spirit's choices and decisions that get made through his children who are among us with no internal monologue to discuss what goes on inside those heads that see through the mind, or through the eyes of a child. Those minds make up the Holy Spirit, believe it or not. But in the end, there's a difference between truth and fact, opinion and reality. And some people are gonna doubt me. That's okay. It was never meant for me to be accepted by all of those around me. But I got a lot to say. It's for a reason. It took a lot to get here, but it's that season.